Have you ever wondered how different people experience the world in unique ways? It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? Just like we all have our favorite colors, games, and foods, we also perceive and interact with the world around us in our own special ways. Today we're going to delve into a topic that will help us understand this better. Autism. It's a word you might have heard before, but what does it really mean? So what is autism? And how might it change the way someone experiences the world? Autism, also called autism spectrum disorder, is a neurological and developmental disorder. Think of it like this. Everyone's brain is like a unique artist, painting their own perception of the world. For some, their artist or brain paints the world a bit differently. That's what happens in autism. It affects how a person experiences and interacts with the world and other people around them. Imagine if you were in a room full of people speaking a language you barely understand. It might feel confusing, right? That's a bit like how someone with autism might feel in social situations. Autism is called a spectrum disorder because just like a rainbow has many different colors, autism affects different people in different ways. Some people might need a little help with daily tasks, while others might need a lot more. Now, let's explore some words that can help us understand autism better. Our first word is inclusive. Now, what does that mean? The term inclusive is like a big welcoming hug that includes everyone. It's all about making sure no one feels left out. Imagine you're throwing a party. Being inclusive would mean inviting all your classmates, not just your best friends. It's about making sure everyone has an invitation and feels welcome to join. So being inclusive means making sure everyone feels welcomed and included. Isn't that a wonderful way to be? The second word we're learning today is echolalia. This may sound like a big word, but don't worry, it's not as tricky as it seems. Echolalia is a term used to describe when someone repeats phrases or sounds they've heard. It's like an echo in a large room or a canyon where the sound you make bounces back to you. Echolalia is common among people with autism. They might repeat a line from their favorite movie, a catchy song lyric, or even something someone else has just said. It's a way of processing and understanding the world around them. You can think of it as a unique form of communication. For example, if they hear the phrase, "How are you?" quite often, they might start to use this phrase in their conversations, even if it doesn't fit perfectly. So, let's put on our thinking caps and remember, echolalia is when someone repeats sounds or phrases they've heard. Our last two words are scripting and perseveration. Scripting is a term used to describe when someone with autism might use lines from movies, books, or video games in their conversation. It's like having a library of phrases and sentences at their fingertips, ready to be used whenever they need them. For instance, imagine you're talking to a friend who suddenly says, "To infinity and beyond." That's a line from the movie Toy Story, right? Well, that's an example of scripting. Now, let's move on to the word perseveration. This term is used when someone focuses on one thing for a long time. It might be a topic, an object, or even a routine. For example, if a friend of yours loves to talk about dinosaurs all the time, every day, and can't seem to switch topics, that's perseveration. It's like a superpower of focus. Both scripting and perseveration are unique ways that people with autism may communicate and interact with the world around them. Just like how we all have our own quirks and habits, these are just part of what makes them special. Remember, being different isn't bad or wrong, it's just different. And that's pretty cool, don't you think? So, scripting is using lines from movies or books in conversation, and perseveration is focusing on one thing for a long time. Now that we know more about autism and some important words related to it, we can be better communicators and friends. We've explored together what autism is, and we've learned that it's a unique way of experiencing the world. It's not something to be afraid of or shy away from. Instead, it's something that makes a person special. Remember, everyone has their own strengths and challenges, and that's what makes us all unique and interesting. We've also learned some new vocabulary words. The first one was inclusive, which means including everyone, making sure no one is left out. We talked about how we can be inclusive by being patient, understanding, and kind, especially towards our friends who have autism. Then we learned about echolalia, which is when someone repeats words or phrases they've heard before. It's a way of communicating and connecting with the world around them. We also discovered scripting, another way of communicating by using lines from movies, books, or songs. Lastly, we discussed perseveration, which is when someone focuses on one thing for a long time. It's a way of learning and understanding things deeply. Understanding these words and what they mean helps us to be more empathetic and understanding towards those with autism. We can be better friends, better classmates, and better communicators. Remember, everyone experiences the world in their own way, and that's what makes us all special. Don't forget to subscribe to ESL Class for You for more fun and educational videos.